Alright, what is going on, Misfits? As always, you should know they call me Chaos the Gamer. But more than likely you probably know is that crazy guy who cannot stop playing Kulov. But either way, so I recently ran into a game where I've been getting a lot more toxicity out of players. Which is fine considering the fact that, you know, it is a game and some people do take things more competitive than others. Totally fine with that. The thing about being toxic with other people is that you have to still acknowledge where it is that you kind of messed up at. And this is the reason why I said I don't think that Bleeding Edge should actually get a ranked system or a ranked mode. Quite literally, if everyone has more options in the game, as well as more mods that can help balance things out, then yeah, you can have ranked mode. But for the most part, I've noticed that a lot of people tend to blame other players who aren't that good. And lately, I've been getting matches with players who aren't necessarily that good. You can play with your character for a very long time, but if you don't know how to do certain things in a certain situation, more than likely, you're going to be the weaker link on your team. Which is totally fine, because the game is still meant to be fun. But, I digress. So, here we have a match where we are playing Power Collection on Jersey Sync. Now, Power Collection, as I've said before, is starting to be one of my favorite game modes. Considering the fact that you can actually make an actual comeback, it's not as hard as Objective Control. Objective Control is starting to get a little bit harder for me to do. It's still fun, but it's very tedious when you don't have the right team going to the right spots, and of course, doing the right things. So, as always, I like to jump in as Kulov, and right now, this is a bit of an old class. I was debating whether I was going to bamboozle a lot of people, but more than likely, I don't think I'm going to. I have a good feeling that Damage Delivery is my preferred class to go to, because again, Kulov isn't necessarily like the world's best healer, you know, compared to Zero. But, like I said, this game was a very, very weird one. Granted, everyone in Bleeding Edge is usually very friendly. Everyone in Bleeding Edge is usually very friendly with each other. But that can all change when one person's not on their end. So, straight out the gates, as always, I like to go for power cells because not just because it's part of the game, but because sometimes your teammates just don't pay attention. A lot of people like to focus on fighting rather than actually trying to get the objective. So, right now, the game is straight up afoot. That tank was going to come in and probably mop me, but I had a little bit of some help. I'm trying to just evaluate the situation from a distance here. That way I can understand when to jump in. And of course, there's Zero, which is my #1 target every single time I play this game. Yep, my #1 target. And I'm glad that everyone else have also adapted to taking out Zero as soon as possible. Because there's an order of operations that you need to do in this game, especially if you're going to pair that Zero up with an El Bastardo. Man, you really... I don't even want to get to it. So, it's 12-0 right now, and we're holding on to 5. I'm not sure who still has their 5. It's probably Buttercup. It's not me, right? Yeah, it's not me. So, right now this Maeve is requesting to group up, and I can totally get down with that. Because Maeve and Kulov can be a very good pair together. And once again, more than likely I'm going to go for this Zero, where I'm going to try to help this Buttercup actually. Yeah, I gave him a shield, and even if I come in and I start getting the crap beat out of me, I prefer if Buttercup stays alive, because if she dies and I have to wait for her to get back in, the amount of time for her to come back in is way too long. So yeah, right now I'm going straight back to Buttercup, even though someone's trying to stop me. It's probably Zero. And I'm trying to just give this person another heal, more than likely. The passive healing that Kulov has is not enough for a teammate to depend on, or even multiple teammates at that rate. And again, I'm trying to stay near this Buttercup because he's going to be the heavy hitter that comes out to eliminate a lot of those foes. Especially when he comes in to grab somebody. When Buttercup grabs someone, I usually give him the curse because I know a lot of combo damage is about to come in. So, right now the power cells are coming back. We're still winning this game, by a fairly good amount, but I always continue to collect power cells no matter what. And I can see again that Buttercup is very low on health, which isn't Buttercup's fault. Honestly, Buttercup is a very big target, and for her not to take that much damage in the middle of fights, it's kind of reasonable. But if you are playing as Buttercup, I'm not a Buttercup expert. If you are playing as Buttercup, there are things that you can do to avoid always getting so much damage inflicted on you. And I'm not sure why I chose to come in here and go hard against Zero. I have a serious grudge against him, and my Gizmo's stuck in a bubble, so I'm in super huge trouble here. More than likely, I'm probably gonna die here. Yeah, I died. To be honest, I shouldn't have gone for that. And this guy says stop enemy at A. Oh wait, no, he was just in the text wheel. Sorry. This guy didn't start saying anything yet, but trust me, once the battle starts to kick in a little bit, everyone kind of starts to bicker here. And I'm not exactly sure why, because we seem to be doing really good. Granted, we're separated way too much, like right here. We're 3v1ing that guy, and I decided to leave because he's obviously gonna die. But Buttercup is getting just completely manhandled. And I'd say Buttercup is still trying, but he's straying away from the team a little too much. Granted, when I go for a kill, I like to go for someone who has a low health. But to stray away from the team in order to do that is not necessary. So right now we're going to try to kill this tank. I hit him with my curse. All three of us are hitting him, but because of the fact that Meko can fly away, it becomes redundant to try to leave this spot. So currently we're working on Nid. I'm trying to focus on Damon, but he came in with a Shadow Strike, and I had to switch my objective to Zero. Even though he has those walls up, I actually enjoy when he blocks himself in. A lot of Zero players tend to do that. So Damon's out, and Zero's out. I love Kulov's ability to be able to get that much range. When Kulov has that extra 15% on his attack damage, it's a really, really, really noticeable difference. And again, power cells have come back to spawn. So they're going to take the ones that are behind me, and I'm going to go for the ones that are at our main spawn point, I guess you could say. Yeah, this is our spawn point. And I'm also going to try to collect these. Now, I can tell that Nid is probably about to run up on me right now, so I'm going to have to leave, and he can keep those if he wants. I have 7, and man, Meko's about to hit me, which is exactly why I threw my shield up, because I can tell a lot of damage is probably about to come in. And they're going to chase me down. Ah, dude, and my body, I thought my body would fall off the ledge there. That was my only hope there. But to be honest, there was nothing I could do about that. When 3 people are actually trying to focus on Kulov, there's practically nothing you can do about that. And now Gizmo just died. So, we are still winning this fight, but I will admit, we're a bit scattered. And I'm probably going to chase this Nid down because he has my 6th. But we're still scattered around a little bit, and it's making things a little bit difficult. Now, Buttercup's going to try to hit Nid. I don't know why that grab missed. Maybe he dodged at the right time. But I'm still going to try to chase down Nid because he has that 6. And yeah, he's going to try to score, or he's going to try to hold on to that. But unfortunately, it's really hard to when you have someone else who also pays attention like this Damon character. Now, I could most likely die here, like I did, because Nidhogg and Damon together, they are a very good melee team. I can't deny that. There's almost nothing that I can do when both Nid and Damon are coming at me. So right now, this Buttercup is trying to focus on the objective, but we're still so... Granted, everyone's not talking to each other, but we're good at getting the power cells, but we're kind of separated. We're kind of not flowing in the exact same way that we should be. Not saying that I'm doing the best here, as you can see. I'm gonna go for this bamboozle, but oh my god, Meko came and completely messed it up. He landed in the water, but me trying to escape right now, oh my god, I had no other choice. And then he puts me in the corner. Yeah, dude, I had almost no choice but to just completely die, because that's the only thing that was gonna happen. Now comes the part where someone starts to come into the chat wheel. So Buttercup is saying that we need to prioritize. I can agree with that because you have to do that at this game. But at the same time, it's not always about prioritizing. With your character, you have to be responsible for yourself, which is why I'm going to come into the chat wheel now and say to this guy, hey, one, you die too much. You're dying a little bit too much, and that's just on your own. I've noticed that you're always straying from the team and that you tend to just... You probably know your character, but you're not making the best decisions, and most of us don't. He also told Maeve to leave and go back to the dojo. I can agree with that to an extent. Maeve players, if you're not good with Maeve, then you're just not going to be good with Maeve. But Maeve is a good character all around. Regardless, Maeve is always going to be a good character. So, we're about to get into a team fight. I gave Buttercup my shield. That shield is automatically gone, but I'm trying to actually team up here because we do actually have to fight these guys off and actually take that 10 that Damon has. So I'm trying to focus on this 10, me and Gizmo more than likely. And the amount of lingering damage that's going on right now is really, really good, which is why I like Kulov's damage delivery class that I made. So I just killed both of them, and man, I made them drop that 10 real good. And then I immediately died right after. This is a cat and mouse situation. I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen or if we pick these up. Okay, so we pick these back up and we still have 17. Again, we are able to win this, but there's a little bit of there's a lack of synergy going on. Even though we're able to collect the power cells, we're only winning because of these power cells. I'd say we're not necessarily focusing on the right people in general. And there goes our objective. Easy objective, but if I were to sit and try to analyze what just happened, admittingly, I wasn't all the way 100% focused, but whenever I come in to play Bleeding Edge, I have no choice but to be around my teammates. And these guys are saying GG, this guy says no. This is the reason why I say rank mode is a little bit of a hit or miss when it comes to Bleeding Edge. I don't think that Bleeding Edge should have a rank mode because of reasons like this. If you have someone on your team who just isn't good with that character, more than likely there's nothing you can do about that, and you kind of have to own up to that. But yeah, telling people to go back to the dojo or that they suck and calling other people names, that's not what I want to see in this game. This game's literal intention is to team up, cause fun, and have chaos. No, team up, have fun, and cause chaos is the literal objective of this game. But yeah, I just want to show this video off because I feel like a lot more games going forward will have a little, not as much toxicity, but a lot of players are going to be a little bit more aware of what's going on, and they're going to try to speak to each other, but it's not going to be on the friendliest of terms, if you know what I mean. But for the most part, I'm still going to keep rocking Kulov, and if you guys actually manage to play with me, I promise you I will do my very best to make sure we at least win on the objective. If we are getting killed constantly, I will do my best to at least hold 25 power cells and run around with those until we can at least win the game. Because what else can you possibly do besides just try and have fun? Either way, dude, that was the only reason why I wanted to make this video. If you liked the video, give it a like. I'm not really a guy that cares for likes that much, but if it gave you value, I hope it did. Anyway, as always, I'm Chaos the Gamer, and please, if you did not know, it is my job to play video games so you don't have to. See you later, Misfits.